This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Blow that whistle. Let's go. 25 Whistles, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. It's been a pretty piss poor sports week for us, so we're going to do something positive in a minute.
Oh, cool.
Love it.
We need it.
Have to dig.
We're all freaking losers, and that's okay. I was talking to one of the guys, big executives of DraftKings, and he was like, I was listening to your biggest college rivalries. I felt like it was a little SEC skewed. I said, what are you talking about? Texas, Oklahoma is not SEC. They may be going to the SEC. Mm-hmm. I said, Army, Navy, not SEC.
Correct. I did the Battle of the Pines, Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston State, not SEC.
I never even heard of those schools, so there you go.
Are they real?
They are real.
So
hell of a rivalry.
Yeah, it really gets down to it. Ohio State, Michigan, not Southern
SEC.
at all.
Yeah.
What are the ones that I picked though?
Hey.
Because those are 3 of the 5, unless I just did the top 3.
And then you did Alabama, Auburn.
Excellent rivalry.
Yeah.
That's SEC though.
Who cares?
I'm just saying the DraftKings argument.
No, I'm going to give you a DraftKings argument right here. They're being haters, but they did give me a hard time too about missing parlays. And I'm like, look, I say, here's the thing. I'm trying hard as I can, but you can follow me on the app and see every bet I make, and I'm up. So the one parlay, and we have a different philosophy this year we're going to do. This week, excuse me. But anyway.
Okay, but see, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people do these parlays on DraftKings. I bet some of those. I didn't hit a few times on some of those.
Same.
I think there was one. Matthew Berry did one.
It's just supposed to be
way
fun.
off.
Fun and funny.
That's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you want like the big picture, you can get with me and follow on the DraftKings app and see everything I bet.
That's right. Where are they out of? Where's DraftKings out of?
Your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Boston.
That's deep. Okay, so they're the East.
Yeah, Boston.
All right, we should have done Boston College versus BU.
Oh, that's what it is. Like New Hampshire,
Yale.
Those rivalries.
Harvard, Yale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming up later, Kansas State All-American offensive lineman Cooper Beebe and Coach Chris Kliemand. So that is awesome. So we'll get to that in a second. It was also Coach's birthday while we were there.
Yes, it was. And I wonder if he went to dinner
And
on
what,
us.
what is he on us? Yeah, we're like,
Yeah.
Coach, go dinner on us.
Chili's.
We'll just we'll reimburse you. So here's what we're gonna do, friends. Texas lost. That's Mike D's team. It's
Yep.
a miserable loss. The Patriots, they even have 11 guys anymore.
I don't think so.
It's been a bad season,
Yeah.
couple weeks. I mean, humiliating. Eddie,
Yeah, Cowboys.
ugly loss.
They look like they didn't know how to play football.
At least you're having a decent season, though.
We were.
Still are.
were.
Still can. And for me, it's been really rough with Arkansas. Really rough. Where I'm just sad all the time. So what I want is something positive from your sports world that you can share so we can switch it up. So, Eddie, I'll go to you first.
Okay. So on NBA 2K, on our Eras League,
You're the Mavericks.
I got the Mavericks. I somehow ended up with the Mavericks. Awesome. I finally played with my team. Dude, this
Are they
1990 2001 Mavericks is amazing.
I know.
Dirk
I wanted
Nowitzki he could drop threes. You don't even have to hit a full meter for him
I
to
know.
drop a three.
I'm doing the same thing with Wally Zerbiak, who's not even as good as Dirk. And you don't have to full meter. And sometimes he goes in. And I'm like, oh, my God.
I know, it's so crazy.
I wanted Dirk and Steve Nash. That's an awesome team that you have.
Yeah, man, the team's really, really good.
You can win a championship.
I've already played 4 games, and I'm 3-1.
Oh, good. I lost this morning.
Uh-oh.
Before work, I played something like 3 in the morning. I play the Lakers. They've got 2 98s, Shaq and Kobe.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
I lost in overtime. And so I'm like 7-1 or something. But I'm the Nashville nostalgia. And we play in Steve Urkel Arena. And it's just all stuff from the 90s and 2000s on our jerseys. I thought it was kind of fun.
That's really
awesome.
funny.
Yeah. But good for you. Well, let's get a game. All right, good
so
for you.
So that's positive.
Good for you. Kevin.
For me, it'd be fantasy football for once. I started off rough, have Justin Fields as my quarterback for his couple weeks. Not very good. Now, he's what, number 3?
Hey, 2 weeks in a row, he's been crushing it. 8
Awesome.
touchdowns in 2 weeks.
I've won them both. I got A-Chan, however you say it. Now he's hurt, but that's okay. I got Saquon coming back. Won a couple in a row. I got a little momentum going.
Good for you.
And I'm happy.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Mike.
Well, I'm not into football right now.
At all. He just quits. I feel it. I feel you.
But being from Dallas, I'm also a fan of the Texas Rangers, who are crushing it right now. They just swept the Baltimore.
Yeah.
And I'm watching baseball for the first time ever.
I felt bad for Baltimore. They won 101 games, and they're just perennial losers. And I mean that in a loving way.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah. And I mean that as somebody who's been a Cubs fan his whole life. And
That was hard years. For
I
a long
just
time.
know losing forever. And so I feel terrible for them. I wanted them to beat the Rangers because I wanted to see Baltimore win. And they won 100. I mean, it's
For
just
Cal Ripken. No, I'm alone. Someone.
He didn't die.
No, I'm saying just win it for Cal, man.
Andrew Jones.
There we go. Andrew Jones. Win it for Dale Murphy.
The Orioles?
Yeah. And was he
Dale
an
Murphy
Oriole?
was a Brave.
Oh, he was an Oriole too, I think.
I don't remember Dale Murphy playing with the Orioles ever.
All right.
You could
Fact check,
definitely be right.
Fact checking.
All I remember is Dale Murphy TBS. Early days.
I don't really.
Baltimore.
Don't know who that is.
Don't really know.
Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray. I think that's who I'm thinking of.
Baltimore.
Eddie Murray.
Is
They're
that an
totally
actor?
different.
Yeah, I know, but
No,
this
Eddie
is
Murphy is the
Murray.
actor.
Yeah.
Murphy,
Okay, that's what I'm
Murray.
Dale Murphy is a white, skinny outfielder. Eddie
Correct.
Murray is kind of a more built, power-hitting
Yep.
black guy.
I
Yeah,
remember.
Rockies, Phillies, and Braves.
So he's never on the Orioles.
Never on the Orioles.
Eddie Murray. That's who I was thinking of.
Billy Ripken.
Yeah, that's Cal's brother with a card that was awesome.
F-U-C-K on the bottom of the bat.
You remember that, Kevin?
No.
You know about that?
His baseball card, he's holding the bat on his shoulder, and it says F-U-C-K on the bottom of the bat, drawn.
Really?
It was an error card that was worth a lot of money.
But I think it was actually written on the bat, and then they
Yeah.
took it off
Yeah.
once they realized they'd printed it.
Dang.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That'd be cool.
What's going on for me right now is Arkansas basketball, ranked 12 in the ESPN poll to start the year.
That's
Let's
cool.
go.
Very excited about that. I wish I were excited about football, and I still am. If we go and win every game, I'll still be like, that's a pretty good year. But even if we win every game out, we'd still end up with 8 wins, and I really thought we'd win 9 or 10.
Yeah.
10 on a really great, catching a couple breaks. But if we can win out, okay. But it's kind of sad. I bet the over-under on DraftKings at 7.
For Alabama, Arkansas?
No, for the wins for the year.
Oh.
A couple of the wins for the year, I did that at 7. I did Vanderbilt at 3.
What is that right now? 3?
I think they have 2. I don't know. I don't look because then I just get sad. I start doing the math.
You don't look before you bet?
I do before I bet, but then I don't look again until after. And then because of the futures I put on this week, I've got a future now on the Ravens, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. Ravens and Cowboys.
Yeah, the Eagles one's the.
It's like I would do
That's
on the
the horse in the
49ers.
lead.
I just feel like they're probably going to win. I'm not going to make that much money.
I would let them lose a little bit and let those odds
go
get
up?
higher. Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin.
Vanderbilt has won 2 games.
Yeah. So what's their schedule look like? Because I need them to win one more to just push.
You got
ahead.
Georgia this week.
Yeah, they won't. Okay, lose,
Ole Miss,
lose,
Auburn,
lose,
South Carolina,
lose,
Tennessee.
lose.
Lose.
That's it.
That's tough.
Maybe they could do that last year and pull one out.
That loss to UNLV hurt. Dang.
Yeah. Let's go, Vandy.
Yeah.
I tell you, I saw Coach's dad, my son's basketball game. No, baseball game.
Yeah, like 4 times. Did you tell us on this show?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No.
Got it. Then you should tell us again. I like I didn't know. Sorry.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
man, no, what's up?
So I was at my kid's baseball game, and I was wearing my Vandy football shirt, and this man comes up, and he's like, hey, cool shirt. And I'm like, thank you. I just stood there, and he's like, so you a fan? And I was like, well, I'm not a fan. You know, me and a buddy, we do a sports podcast, and with a video thing. Then we went to Vanderbilt and did a thing with them. Oh, that's cool. Watched a little more baseball, and then he goes, well, my son's the coach there. And I was like, what? You could have led with that. You're Clark Lee's dad. He's like,
That's
yeah,
super
yeah,
cool.
I'm Clark Sr.
It's super cool. You know, he's proud of his son, too.
Heck yeah.
Because he
He
just
really
wanted to
is.
be like, he wanted to find a way to get to it because I would,
Totally.
too. Because I'm like, I know a guy who met Clark Lee's dad. That's how proud I am of Clark Lee. Just to get it all the way over.
What's funny, though, is I told him that, yeah, I work with Bobby Bones, and we do this thing. He's like, oh, my gosh. Wait, too much access. I saw it. He's
Oh,
like,
good.
I
Oh.
saw the video.
That's awesome.
You guys are trying to kick footballs like idiots. I love it.
Is that what he said?
No, I mean, not like that.
Okay,
not
all right.
verbatim.
All right, let's go over. It's time for the tittle tattle.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
If Oregon beats Washington this week, do you think Bo Nix takes over as a Heisman favorite?
No.
Oh, wow. That was
I
quick.
couldn't even finish.
No, I know. I think probably he needs a few big wins. Bo Nix, even though he's been awesome at Oregon, Bo Nix still has a little bit of Auburn on him. And it also sucks for Bo Nix that he plays at Oregon because not all Americans to watch his games, so they can't shake off all the Auburn on him. So we don't really get to see all the new and improved Bo Nix unless we stay up late or make a point to do it. I think if he has a great game, it probably shifts it a bit. But will he be the favorite? No, it depends on how good Caleb Williams plays. That's a big game against Notre Dame. If Caleb Williams goes out prime time, I get it. USC, it's a left school as well. But USC is a little more high profile than Oregon. Even
Left in the country, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, not politically?
I'm looking at a map.
Okay.
Well, probably both, I'm being honest.
That's true.
But Caleb
Southern
Williams
Cal.
also has what Bo Nix had, and that Caleb Williams has a little bit of Oklahoma on him, and he was awesome at Oklahoma. So I think Caleb Williams wins it. I think Michael Penix Jr. is the favorite right now, but barely. I think if Bo Nix plays awesome and Oregon keeps winning, he probably moves up a bit. What is he, third right now? Mm-hmm. It's Penix Jr., Caleb Williams, and Bo Nix at 3. But I do think if Oregon wins and he plays awesome, sure. But I don't think he's the favorite until they are right about to make the freaking tournament.
You think he has to beat Penix and Williams?
When you call him Penix, it just feels like so much.
Are you doing that on purpose?
He is.
Penix.
No,
Penix.
but you know how close Penix
I
is
just
to
like
something
I just
else.
like
why
making
is
you
he
guys
saying that?
uncomfortable.
No, I think I was an accident. I think he just attached himself to it.
Oh, yeah.
I think Caleb Williams wins the Heisman.
Okay.
Unless they lose 2 or 3 games. Everybody wants Caleb Williams to win it, as in everybody, all the media. They love it because he gets clicks, so they'll keep writing stories about him. It's just going to feed the monster.
Yeah.
But Bo Nix can win the Heisman if Oregon wins the whole thing. Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Which non-Pac-12 ranked matchup are you looking forward to most? USC at Notre Dame or Miami at North Carolina?
I don't care about Miami at North Carolina. Good. Have a nice day. It's a fun game to see if Miami bounces back after their humiliating, didn't take any loss. And the North Carolina, Drake May's awesome, but I don't really care that much. What I care to see is USC and Notre Dame.
Yes.
For the same reason everybody wants to see it. It's 2 massive programs. It's Notre Dame, who people love it when Notre Dame's supposed to be good, and then they're not. I think people love that more than when Notre Dame is good. And they definitely love it more than when Notre Dame is just bad and nobody cares. What people like is to see Notre Dame get set up and then clocked.
I think get knocked down again.
Yes, because they're very entitled. And I would feel entitled if I were a Notre Dame fan, for sure. I wish I felt entitled, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I don't. I'm a loser. But people love when Notre Dame's like, this is the team, and they love to see people just kick them right in the balls. And they've already been kicked there. So they're not going to win the national championship this year, but people want to watch that game because of Caleb Williams and because they want to see Notre Dame get beat. Now, I would like to see Notre Dame win.
That would be cool.
Which is counter everything I just said because they can't win the national championship. I've already achieved what I wanted with Notre Dame. Now I want to see them eat up other schools.
Do you feel like it's 2 entitled teams? Because
USC is
Southern
entitled
California,
too, yes, absolutely.
Like that is their, that's what they're known for.
Yeah, and
USC.
They fire coaches if they're not big winners.
Yeah.
They're just kind of winners. You only do that if you're an entitled team.
So we call it the Entitled Bowl?
Well, you'd need like 9 teams playing at once.
There's a lot of entitled
Like
teams out
Royal
there.
Rumble. All 9 teams get on the field at once.
Put Texas in there.
Yes, last one. I mean, throw Oklahoma in there.
Yeah,
Throw
yeah.
Alabama in
Ohio
there.
State.
Yeah, you're entitled because
Okay.
you've won a lot.
Okay.
Like it's a success thing.
Okay.
You know, there's not a team that wins a bunch of national championships that you just go, I'm big fans of them. They're just great people. Because eventually you kind of turn into a douche. I wish I could be a douche about Arkansas.
That'd be cool.
Georgia's starting to turn into a douche.
Yeah.
Starting, and I would too. If I won 2 in a row, of course. That's the goal, to be a douche.
Kevin, what's the UCLA USC kind of like? What's that vibe? Because I feel like you said like USC is what you think about when you think of Southern Cal. What about UCLA? They're running the other side of town.
Yeah, they're kind of like the little brother, like the Angels and the Dodgers kind of thing. But USC is known for like spoiled kids and rich kids. And
Oh, you
so
don't
if
mean
you go
sports
against that-
programs. You mean actual schools.
I mean both.
Yeah, I guess UCLA basketball is what I associate with winning basketball in California.
Yeah.
And USC football. Yeah. All right, next up.
Going to the NFL after torching the Cowboys and getting his team to 5-0. Do you think Brock Purdy is still being disrespected?
I think a lot of people, myself included, although I wasn't just a pure hater on Purdy, we got to watch him in prime time, and it was the only game on, and so we spent time with him. I think like 20 million people watched that game.
Yeah, we hung out with them.
Yeah, otherwise, it's the 4 o'clock game, or the 3 o'clock game. It's 4 o'clock on fantasy football because they run it Eastern.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Yeah. It's a 3 o'clock game, and you're watching it with 2 other games, and the 49ers are winning, but the game gets out of hand quick, or it's them playing. So you don't spend a lot of time with it, and you just listen to the people that you trust going, Brock Purdy's system quarterback. But then we watched him play the Cowboys, and he was making every throw with touch or on the money hard, or he was check. Yes, he has a bunch of weapons, but okay, we can't penalize people for the weapons that they have. That'd be stupid.
Yeah, even if the system is perfect, you've got to make that throw, and he was making
making
every
them all- he's
throw
making them all.
perfectly.
It's a good defense.
And I think everybody keeps saying Brock Purdy's underrated, is now swinging the pendulum the other way.
Yeah.
So good for him. He's killing it. He makes $800,000 a year, which in the NFL is not a lot. It's a rookie deal, 7th round, last pick, right? Generally speaking, yes. But for NFL player, $800,000 a year. Not for a star of the best team in the NFL, $800,000. The quarterback, it's a low. So, and he lives in San Francisco, which costs way more.
Yeah.
So he has a roommate.
But he understands that, right? I think he understands it's early in his career, and he's still trying to prove who he is. Even though he's getting closer and closer to proving that, he's still at the $800,000 level, right? He's close to the big deal.
Yeah, but he's $800,000 because a team, that's when they really have the ability to win big, is when you have somebody massive in a rookie deal. You don't just go and throw him a bunch of money. He knows.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good. He'll make a bunch of money unless he gets hurt. But if you can get a quarterback in a rookie deal, year 2 or 3, they're in. They're pretty. But then you got to pay him like Mahomes. That's why he has no wide receivers, because
Right.
they don't want to. They can't pay anybody else. And so even like Kelsey, who's a massive star, great tight end, tight ends just don't get paid as much as receivers. So that's very beneficial to the team that they have somebody in a rookie deal, especially a quarterback.
They won the lottery for sure.
Yeah. So all right, one more.
Last one. We've seen some major upsets in the MLB playoffs right now, and I was wondering, would you rather have your team not make the playoffs at all, or be a top team all year and then get bounced in the first round?
Watching Atlanta lose, and that game got out of hand pretty quick the other day. That game 3, it was 6-1. I just had it on my phone. I was just kind of looking down. 4-1, 6-1. Oh my God! And they'd already climbed out of one hole. I think it was in game 2. They climbed out of a 4-1 hole. I can't believe Atlanta lost, because they were basically the best offensive team in baseball history. So that sucked. The Orioles won 101 games and they fell early. And that kind of sucked. I like the Orioles because they're losers. I don't like the Orioles, but I like the Orioles because they're losers. I would rather make the playoffs and just be destroyed later in the playoffs and not make it at all. Because that means hopefully you've got some health going into next year. That means you had fun this season. That's more time you got to spend winning, just generally.
Right.
And it sucks. It's like, would you rather your team go to the Final Four and get beat on a heartbreaking buzzer beater, or not make the tournament? Take me to the Final Four. I'll heartbreak all day. I'm used to heartbreak. I'm freaking callous. All my teams lose. It sucks. So yes, I would rather make the playoffs and lose in a really bad way, because then I can come on and keep doing this crap. Everybody suck.
It's good content.
Feel sorry for me. Yes. All right. Thank you. That's Tittle Tattle.
The stupidest name ever is the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
All right, thank you, Kevin. 25 Whistles presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. We're going to build this parlay with each of our hands,
Ooh.
because I just haven't been successful. I gotten close, but close don't matter in a parlay. So I'm going to do my 1, and then you guys throw your 1 in here. Let's build it as a team.
Let's
and
go.
I will go first. I'm going Duke Moneyline versus North Carolina State. Pretty close game. It's been like 2 or 3 points, what the spread's been. But I'm going to go Duke Moneyline versus NC State.
Okay.
Money lines. Duke's the favorite there.
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like by 2.5 or 3.
3.5, right? Yeah.
And now it's 3.5?
Yeah.
I better bet it quick before it goes up again. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to put the odds into. All right, go ahead. Kevin.
I'm going to go with stay in the ACC there. North Carolina money line against Miami. At home, North Carolina. They are 3.5-point favorites as well.
Yeah, we're a bunch of wimps.
I know, but we got to get back on track
I
here.
agree. I agree.
You know?
No, again, it was, I think, 2.5 when I jumped on it, and now it's 3.5, but that's still a loser. I'm not taking the spread. I just need to win.
So only one of us has balls here.
That would probably be you. But just don't be the
Only
one.
one of us.
Just don't be the one to lose it.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
You got to take risks.
They already came at Bobby.
You're
they
not
said.
risk. Every time I'd be like, Eddie, should I cash out? He's like, yeah, cash out, cash out, cash out. So you're full of crap about risk. Okay, go ahead. Let me type this in. Duke money line, not 3.5. All right. Duke money line at minus 175. Boom. Dang. Add more. Okay, Kevin, yours is
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Throw your hands up.
Okay,
Like a helicopter.
North
There you go.
Carolina versus Miami. North Carolina is a 3.5-point favorite after the Miami crystal ball.
Debacle.
So they're either going to come and play terrible, or blow the doors off and be like, we're so embarrassed, we're going to come out for vengeance.
That's what scares me.
Okay, and Eddie.
Let's get some guts here, guys. Look, Louisville coming off a great victory, killing Notre Dame at home. They're playing Pitt. Pitt's not a very good football team. They got 7 points, so it's Louisville minus 7.5 right now.
So we're taking the spread on that one?
Yes. Louisville's going to run over Pittsburgh.
Okay. You don't think it's like a trap game, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay, those three, if you bet $10, you'll make $46.60.
That's good.
I bet 100 to make $466.
Okay.
So I'm in. I bet mine. If we say it, I do it. There you go. Get in with us.
Taking mine.
Eddie, good for you for picking the spread.
Hey, man, let's make some smiles on that one.
The Arkansas spread last week was like 11.5. I changed it up to Arkansas 7 plus 7, and then it freaking pushed. I tried to take less points because I knew they would be in it closer, and then they pushed. Yeah, on
That's
that
close.
one. If you want to take the 25 whistles parlay, you can check out DraftKings Sportsbook. New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Let's talk now with an All-American. It's not always we get to hang out with an All-American or hit him with pads or he helps us put our pads on.
Yeah, push them around.
Yeah, Cooper Beebe is awesome. Like, what a dude. So here he is. Cooper was ranked the 9th best player in the state of Kansas coming out of high school. He was not a 4-star kid, though, is what's funny.
Crazy.
Like, he wasn't this massive recruit. We were talking to him about it. He's a 3-star recruit. Mm-hmm. And so, big shot put guy, played basketball as well when he was in high school, and he's All-American now. He could have went to the draft last year. During the game, we were talking about that, too. Like, he wanted to stay. I guess his brother plays on the team, too, which we didn't meet his brother. And he, like, taught school. You guys see the package I ran on him on the football game? He's, like, teaching kids, like, in high school.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love this dude. You can follow Cooper on his journey to the NFL next year on Twitter. Cooper_BB. Here he is, Cooper Beebe. Cooper, how big a boy are you?
6'3", 330.
How long have you been that big?
Oh, my whole life.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for your mom. It's 6'3".
You came out like that?
That's dang. So, what town did you grow up in?
So I grew up in Kansas City.
And in high school, were you, big 4-star lineman?
I was actually a 2-star defensive lineman.
That's crazy. And that's the point I wanted to get to, is that here you are now, preseason All-American, but a 2-star guy. And so a lot of people watching this may be like you in high school right now, or may have kids in high school right now that they don't even know their potential yet. Like, what would you say to them watching this?
Man, I tell you what, ratings don't mean anything, Dude, don't let anybody ever tell you you can't do it. If you put in the work, day in, day out, big things will happen.
What's your dream?
I want to play in the NFL. It's my dream.
What you want to play left tackle?
I want to play guard.
You want to play? Okay.
I have played tackle. It's definitely not. With these little arms, it's not necessarily the easiest thing.
Did you say little arms? I don't see a. Why are you on? Where's your helmet on?
What? You never know. We're on the field, man. You want to get a flag out here?
Taking your helmet off.
Success is celebration if you take it off.
Exactly.
So you're gonna leave it on the whole interview?
That's right.
Okay. So when you come out those doors and this place is full of people screaming, clapping, that's got to be awesome.
Yes, this is my 5th year here, and I still get goosebumps every time. You sit right there and the garage opens, the smoke's going off. It's just an unreal experience.
What's Coach like?
Oh, Coach is amazing, dude. He's such a player's coach. He's a dude, you want to go, I'd go have a beer with or hang out with. He's just such cool, and he really builds the culture around here that makes this place special.
What do we, the common man, not know about the offensive line? Because we see you guys and we're like, great, good job or bad job or nothing. Or because we don't get the respect you deserve. What do we not know?
Our job is a lot harder than people think. Like you said, we're always the ones that get criticized, but nobody in the stands could do what we do, and we're the reason we win.
Whenever you get down on the line and somebody's calling out, there, like, what are you guys looking for whenever you line up? Like, what are you looking at where the defensive tackles are lined up, the linebackers? What are you all yelling down there?
So usually we yell like combinations. So if I'm next to the center, for instance, and we're going to combo to this guy, we'll say one of our combos calls is a king. you go to this guy. So you know that you're double teaming with the dude next to you to that person.
But how would I not know that you were kinging me? If I was lined up against you and I heard you call king, I'd be like, he's going to king me, so.
You know, defensive linemen aren't that smart.
Got it. I felt that.
That's the best answer I can give.
Do you watch draft analysis and see where they're tossing your name around?
It's hard not to see. I try to tune it out. You know, I know that I got to do what I got to do, and, you know, it'll all play out from there.
Tell me about this school, how much it means to you.
Oh, it means everything to me. You know, I had the chance to go pro last year, but, you know, it's just the people that truly make this place special, and, you know, that was the reason I came back.
All right, thanks, Cooper Beebe. Awesome. We'll get to coach in just a second. But now let's talk about the NFL season. It's going strong, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with an offer that's even stronger. Bet $5 on any game this week to score $200 instantly in bonus bets. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game this October. Get in on the game day greatness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code BobbySports. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5 on the NFL. That's the code BobbySports, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling, 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, Louisiana, 21 and up, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario, bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sports.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. We're going to go over to our interview with Coach Kliemand. I love this dude. I liked hanging out with them, but then when I watched him coach, I know they lost the last game that we watched. It didn't matter. I was like, I want to play for this guy.
Yeah.
It was like 4th and 4 from their own 29. He's like, we got to make a move. They got one, didn't get another one, but he trusted his defense to just give up 3. He was doing it was awesome. I was like, I want to play for this dude. Like, if I was an offensive guy, I'd want to play for this dude.
Yeah, but you're too old. You can't play for him anymore.
Sometimes a Disney movie comes out about somebody who's older who goes back and makes a difference.
Just saying, man, you keep tricking yourself there.
They won the Big 12 last year.
Yeah.
And I say that to him, like, I feel like you guys just didn't get the respect you deserve because, one, TCU ends up going to the championship game. And that, okay. And maybe if they win the game, they're like, oh, they didn't win the conference. But they get beat 100-0, so people aren't even looking at what happened in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But they won the Big 12 last year. So Coach made his name at North Dakota State. He won 4 national championships in 5 years, which is wild. He was a part of 7 total. He led the Wildcats to a Big 12 championship last year for the first time since 2012. Follow him on Twitter at Coach KLI. He's awesome. Here he is.
And it's his birthday. But he thinks we don't know.
Then. Get in the time machine.
Right.
It's his birthday when we're doing this interview. Here is Coach Kliemand. Coach, when you take over a program, because you've been here a few years, regardless of the program, but especially somewhere like Kansas State, there are many things that the alumni and that the local folks are proud of, hand signals, if it's a woo pig or if it's the cat. How quickly do you have to learn to do the hand signal exactly right? Like day one?
Day one.
Are you scared to do it though immediately because you don't want to like do it slightly wrong?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
you don't want to. But no, day one, they expect you to know it all. And, you know, from EMA to the hand signal to the Wabash Cannonball, everything you got to know.
What's the Wabash Cannonball?
It's one of our.
Is it a song?
Yeah, it's our song.
Well, I don't know the
it was a dance.
song.
Yeah.
No, that's the Macarena.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of the
That's what I was
Macarena.
thinking about.
Yeah. I would just be nervous because there are times when I meet people and I didn't get their name exactly right, and if I have to go on TV or something and say their name, I'm like, I don't want to have to, because if I'm wrong, everybody's going to know I'm a little bit wrong. But there's pressure. I was looking at a lot of pictures of you holding the hand sign. Is that on a plane? Are they teaching you stuff on the flight over when you get the job?
Absolutely. That's why I had Kenny Lanou on the flight, you know, our media relations guy. He was showing me how to do everything. But no, I mean, it is such a whirlwind tour. When you first get hired, and I was in the middle of another season with another team, and we were trying to win a national championship. So you'd ask my wife, she still doesn't remember that 60 days we had of kind of the courtship.
Whenever I get a treadmill or any sort of like exercise machine, I work on it for, I don't know, a month or so, and then it just turns into basically a clothes hanger where I just end up throwing clothes. Now, I noticed right by your desk, there's a piece of cardio equipment.
Yeah.
How often do you actually use it, or is it more of just a discussion point now?
Did you not know what the cardio equipment is?
No, I don't.
It's an elliptical.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, how often do you get on it though? Actually,
Twice a week.
you still use it?
Yeah, I still use it. No, I don't hang any clothes on there. I truly use it twice a week. You can see we've got some big screens around here, so my video's up there. So then I put the video on, watch some of the games, watch some cut-ups, watch a lot of the different plays that we're trying to watch, and I can got to get a little exercise.
so
it's
you'll
hard
work
during the season.
Oh, that was like Richard Simmons or something. He's like, he puts his video up there,
Yeah.
watches Sweating to the Oldies. And then,
I would love it if it were that, but no, this is actually work. The hard thing is I have my phone with me, and then I'm trying to type in notes, and I'm sweaty, but I get it done.
if I'm thinking of throughout the week, and I'm touring now, doing stand-up, but if I think of a joke concept, I write it on my phone immediately. Sometimes I go back to it, and sometimes I can remember what the idea was. Sometimes I can't. As a football coach, do you do the same with concepts or plays or schemes where it's like, I have not seen this yet, let me jot it down, or maybe we should do it, and then you go back to it and revisit it in your phone, and sometimes you don't even know what you wrote down?
For me, it's more leadership thoughts, motivating thoughts. I'll get up in the middle of the night because I never sleep very well during the season, and my wife will look, what are you doing? And she'll know that I'm typing something that I just thought of at 2 a.m. to say something we can do maybe after a big win. How do we get them responding back? Maybe after a loss, maybe after a bad practice, whatever it may be. My mind never shuts off during the football season, but there are times I'll go back in and I'll say, gosh, when did I do that? And lucky it'll say like 3:35. I'm like, boy, I don't even remember getting up.
Who are some of your leadership role models, either that you've worked for with or that you just read about that you never knew?
I've been fortunate because I've got a guy named Ben Newman that's one of the world-renowned speakers in the country, sports performance coach, and he's put me on like Ed Milet, and he's put me on John Gordon, and some of those guys that I love reading motivational books. I love reading leadership books, but then I'm going to read a book on Kobe Bryant. I'm just how those guys, what they did to tick, Michael Jordan, all the great ones of how they were motivated and what kind of drove them.
I feel like for any success that either me or my friends, peers have had, look, we all have a screw loose, but it's the right screw and it's just the right amount of loose. And you only have that little amount to still be somewhat sane. I'm only somewhat sane. Because it's like, I don't sleep well.
This is true,
I
Coach.
can't stop thinking. I can't stop imagining. My wife and I are always, time management. Something's always happening. Do you feel like you got a screw, because you're very successful? Do you feel like you have kind of a screw loose, but it's the right screw?
Yeah, you have to. I don't know which screw that is that's loose. My wife would tell you for sure, but you absolutely have to do what we do, to do what you do. I mean, it's nonstop. It's 7 days a week right now. You get in the office by 5:45 and you're leaving at 9:30, quarter to 10, and your mind's still on when you go home. You visit with your wife a little bit, you go to bed, you wake up, and it's just repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So you have to have a little bit of a screw loose, but it's crazy because I never have felt like, and I've been doing this for over 30 years, that I've ever had a job. I assume you probably think the same thing, that you don't really feel like you have a job.
I don't until I see the revenue that I bring in, and then I realize I need to be paid more. So, that's kind of how I'm like, this is so fun. Let me see the okay, this is the job. I forgot. Yes, I agree. And my stepdad worked at the sawmill, right? And I got to see him go to work and hate his job every single day. And I had jobs that I hated every day in doing what I do in the morning or touring or this. And it's also like when I speak to people, I'm like, if you find something that you love to do, it's not just about having fun, but you'll actually want to be better at it.
Yeah.
And when you want to be better at something, like you strive, you achieve, and it's a cycle. You love it, you get better at it, you have success, and it continues. So I've found that for me to be successful. But I agree, this isn't a real job.
Yeah, and for us in coaching, we utilize each other so much. Even when you play against somebody, you know them, you talk to them in the off season. Some guys you're really close to in season that you talk to, and you spitball ideas and you throw things around, and everybody. knows everybody in our profession, probably the same as yours. I've got a bunch of staff members that have been in the business for 30 plus years, and oh, hey, we played this team this week. Oh, yeah, I know the running back coach. I know the linebacker coach. I'll give him a call and see if we can get some tips or some hand signals or whatever, or what was the environment like when we went to that stadium, and how loud was it? How loud do you have to have the noise at practice to try to replicate those things? It's just never ending. It's nonstop, but that's what makes it so much fun.
What is your wife's favorite month?
Oh, boy. I would say probably July, just because that's when we get a little bit of a break. Her birthday's in August, and I haven't celebrated a birthday because we're in the middle of fall camp our entire time together. But she knew what she was getting into. She married me when I was a graduate assistant, making about $800 a month. So she knew exactly what she was getting into. And I told her, like, your birthday's in August. That's a bad month. And so now she just
She
says,
changed it. It's now in December.
Officially.
Yes.
she just says, no, I'm out of town now. So now she goes out of town every August and gets away for her birthday. And I sit out of practice, and I'm like, well, she's in good hands. She's doing all right.
It's your birthday today, Coach. You think we didn't know that?
Happy birthday,
Coach.
Come on.
So,
we knew.
so what do you're up here with these knuckleheads, us, on your birthday, and it's off week. You could be doing whatever. Like, what do you usually do on your birthday?
Well, I was thinking back at this, and I may have to have Ryan or Kenny look this up. This is the first time that I can remember my birthday week landing on an open week. So usually it's get the text, talk to my mother, those things, and just go right back to work. I've got a radio show tonight that I've got to do from 7 to 8, and then my wife and daughter, who's in town, might grab a bite to eat or something. But usually it's right in the middle of game week, and you never know. I hate it when it's on game day, but this is the middle of game week or an open week, so it's a lot better.
Have you ever lost really bad on your birthday?
Absolutely.
Oof, that's not
Not a good present.
No.
No, that's then you don't even want. Maybe not on the birthday, but like it comes on a Sunday and you lost on a Saturday, and you don't even want to take any of the calls or text, and you don't want to respond back. But maybe it takes a few days, and you do. But we've been fortunate; we've won more than we've lost, so that has made it a lot easier.
Coach, one of the games I hate is when you guys play TCU because there's just all purple on the field. And I'm like, oh, gosh, who scored? Oh, yes, Kansas scored. No, that was TCU. Is it ever like well, first question, when you go into the game, who decides, like, all right, we're wearing the darks, we're wearing these helmets, we're wearing that? Because you got to coordinate, especially with a team like that's got purple.
Yeah, home team gets the selection. But last year, in the Big 12 championship game, which was at AT&T Stadium, it was a sea of purple. That's all people saw. And if it weren't for the fact that I knew where our bench was and the fans we had behind our bench, but you looked across their bench and you saw the fans like, but this place is packed with purple. It was definitely a sea of purple, but I would say it was probably 50-50 there. Maybe we had a little bit more, even though it was in Fort Worth.
All I remember is texting Eddie, because I'm colorblind to dark colors.
Yeah.
Like everything over like a 5 on the darkness scale looks the same, and I was like, dude, I don't know what's what.
Now to give him the updates.
Yeah, it was like, what's the border of the numbers? Because I can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, there's some. We played a game a number of years ago, and the team had black jerseys and navy numbers, and we were trying, who's in the game, what number? We're like, we couldn't tell. Yeah. They've now made a rule against that. You can't have contrasting colors on the numbers to the jersey, because you could not tell what numbers were in the game. And that's a nightmare for us as coaches to see how many running backs are in the game, how many wide receivers are in the game, and you can't even tell the numbers.
And that's strategy on their part, though, right? I mean,
oh,
really.
sure it is. Yeah.
That's some crap I
do.
do.
Gamesmanship.
Yeah, I put like pill off numbers. We'd switch numbers during the game. I'd do all kind of crazy stuff. I was looking at, since you joined as head coach here at Kansas State, I was looking at a lot of the head coaching records just in those few years. There's just so much progress that's been here at Kansas State since the moment that you took over, like actual, tangible progress. And I think it's one of the, I won't say underappreciated, but you guys won the freaking Big 12 last year. And I feel like people didn't really hold you guys up as high as and I think TCU, them not having a good showing in the championship game just took some headlines, because everybody was like, but I feel like you guys did not get the credit you deserved last year, or didn't get held on the pedestal as high as you probably should have.
Probably accurate. I think there's a lot of disrespect for Kansas State. It doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever it may be. But, that's probably the chip on our shoulder, too, that you've got to earn that respect every day. And our guys would be the first ones to tell you that they probably like the underdog status. And they like that being the hunted perspective, and so we talk about it, but in the same respect, come every Saturday you got to perform anyway. And we've had some really good things happen. We've had some tough losses here too, but last year probably validated a lot of the things that we wanted to get done when we came here in 2019. The pandemic year was a disaster for us, like it was everywhere else, and or a lot of people probably had better success than we did. But I remember in the pandemic year, we would do our COVID testing on Friday morning, and then the trainers would come up and say, okay, these 5 people have COVID. Well, those are 2 starting guards. Those are 2 starting linebackers. Oh, and by the way, they're close contact guys, or your starting defensive end. And you're like, all right, jump on the bus. Let's see who can play. Let's go. And that was miserable. So everything that we've done helps tarnish or magnify what that was so crappy in 2020. But for us to get that Big 12 championship last year kind of validated everything that we wanted to get done here when we came here in 2019.
It's just such a big deal. It's Power 5 conference. You win the championship. Yeah, we still have to hear about, and you don't need to comment on this, about stupid Texas.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know who they are.
So it's like, who cares about Texas
Right.
football? I mean, you don't comment on the coach. That's just us over here.
We're just talking about it. We still play him this year.
Yeah,
I
you
won't
said
comment.
nothing about that. That's just us doing our comments here. What do your players know you for?
Oh, boy. Well, you get a chance to be with Cooper Beebe today, so he'll probably tell you a little bit. Hopefully that I'm a player's coach. I value their opinion. We have a leadership council that I want their opinion on things. I want their voice. I think that's a big thing right now in college athletics is, you don't want to be a dictator. You need to have those guys have a voice and take ownership in the program. And that's why I think we were successful last year is, we gave them a lot of things and then gave them the keys and said, you guys got to hold each other accountable to the standard that you guys expect. You know what we expect. But when your peer can hold you accountable to that same standard of what you do on the field, what you do off the field, how you prepare yourself, and our guys have that right now. And our locker room has really good culture right now. And I a firm believer that when you give the guys that ownership and let them run the team and let them run that locker room, it gets better and better.
Coach, I'm a huge Cowboys fan, so let's talk about Deuce Vaughn for a second.
Isn't that fun one to talk about now?
I mean, Deuce was awesome for you guys, and then when he gets drafted by the Cowboys, super special, of course, the whole dad connection. But he's sitting at the 3rd running back spot. He's super fast.
Yep.
He's not that big of a guy, but what can you say about him as a person? And 2, would you ever call Jerry and be like, "Hey, you've got to move him up. This dude is
what I do.
What you need."
Well, we would have played him all the time, and it's funny because Deuce and his mother sat right where you're sitting when he was a senior in high school. Big infectious smile, and I said, you're going to be a dynamite running back for Kansas State, and you're not too small to play, and we're going to build our program around you, and we're going to build our offense around you. And he lit up and he said, I'm coming to K-State, and that's what we did, and that's what he did for us. So there's a role for him, and I don't know if it's been defined yet. I don't ever get a chance to watch NFL football. Sundays are our busiest days. I'll get a highlight. Somebody will send me, like Julie Sprents who played for us last year, had a strip and created a turnover last week. I don't get a chance to watch enough, but if you need me to call Jerry, you guys can get his number a lot easier than I could. We'll give him a call and see if we can get him on the field a little bit more.
You define yourself as a player's coach. Have you always been a player's coach, or is that something that you've transitioned to more of as you've been, had more head coaching experience?
Yeah, no, it's what I've always tried to be. I look at it as I was really fortunate to get a head job at North Dakota State. We won some games there. I was the D-back coach. I was the defensive coordinator, and I always had a really good relationship with the guys, and I always wanted to be a part of the guys' lives, not just on the field, but more importantly off the field, see how they're doing, talk about their families. And then when I got elevated to head coach, I just said, I'm not going to change. And I remember one of our players we had at North Dakota State, I wore a suit for the first game in the morning, and it was my first game, and I'll never forget it. And the kid came up to me and said, you don't have to do this. Go put your sweats on, or go put your polo on, and we're going to be just great. And I looked at him, and I was like, oh, thank God he said that, because I felt so uncomfortable. And so I went back to just wearing my polo and my khakis or sweats on that day or the next game. And I want to be a part of those guys' lives. And the only way you can be is by being around them as much as you can, by finding out as much as you can, by joking with them as much as you can, by just being one of the guys. And that's what assistants typically are. And us head coaches oftentimes have to become CEOs and all that other stuff, which you still have to do. But you still have to break away and get in the locker room and the training room and weight room and just, dig your heels in and get to know them.
Let's talk schematically, especially defensively. In the NFL, you're seeing Miami, they don't have a lot of big guys. They got a lot of fast guys. We're talking about Deuce Vaughn. They got a lot of guys that get in open space and then run. If it's, Mostert, if it's Tyreek, if it's Waddle. But then now the defenses are having to change too, and we saw the Patriots have to play like 4 or 5 safeties at one time to try to keep speed up. What changes are you seeing in the Big 12 or just in college football in general? Are you seeing just speed winning more at times, like in the linebacker and defensive backs more than it ever has?
Yeah, without a doubt. You don't run the old I formation, quarterback under center very often at all. The other thing that is taking over college football that's going to take over the NFL pretty soon is no huddle, not giving a team a chance to substitute, so that we're going to put our fastest guys out there, and you better be able to match those guys. And sometimes in the past, people would just match those guys on third down. Now you got to match them on first down. You got to match them on second down, and it's a skill level of trying to find safeties that are fast enough or linebackers that are fast enough. But you also have these tight ends that are 6'7", 270 pounds that can run 4.5 that you can't put a corner on because they're just going to wall them out and box them out. And I look at the Travis Kelce from the Chiefs. Who can cover him? Well, you can put a linebacker on him, but he's faster. You can put a safety or a corner, but he's bigger. And that's what everybody's trying to recruit is the hybrid defensive players that are fast enough to be able to stuff the run, but athletic enough to be able to cover great tight ends and wideouts.
Does it end up penduluming though, where you get so many hybrids on defense that are having to stop all of these offensive playmakers that all of a sudden you're rotating coverage, you got fast guys. Well, now all of a sudden everybody's trying to stop the wide open pass game. So you got somebody who's like, well, let's just run it right back down their throats. And then it slow. Is it just a nonstop pendulum all the time?
It is a nonstop pendulum. The one thing that will never change is you better have a quarterback. That's the thing that'll never change, whether or not that quarterback is a dual threat guy like a Lamar Jackson that can beat you with his arm, beat you with his legs, or a guy that, like Tom Brady was, that's just going to, precision just carve you up. You still have to have that quarterback. And that's the first thing that we're looking for in recruiting is every class. Can we find that quarterback, as well as when we're scouting teams and stuff is how's the quarter? Because you can, like you said, you can put everybody in charge of pass, but if that kid's just going to run the ball on you as a quarterback, you're in trouble. And so, it's a pendulum it's offensively as well as defensively, it's ever changing.
How hard would it be to install a wishbone in 1 week and just surprise the crap out of a team?
It would be really, really hard.
Really?
I believe it would be. But
like student body left?
Yeah.
I mean,
you think it'd be easier, Buzz?
Well, I think this whole thing would be pretty easy. Honestly,
run to school. You know what, though? But that's not what anybody wants to see. Then if if the Cowboys did that, if you said let's Cowboys do it, then the NFL is going to be mad because then they're not throwing the ball enough. And
One
that's
game
what,
though, like a
yeah,
big
one
game. Like we're running wishbone, we're running triple option.
Well, that's the thing that
leather helmets. You go all in, coach.
Wow.
Well, when we were at North Dakota State, we had to play Georgia Southern, and they were all triple option. And then my first year here, we're so excited we get to go to a bowl game, and we get announced, and we get to play Navy. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. Of having to defend triple option and your defensive line getting cut on every play and like, hey, we're playing Navy. And the guy's like, hey, great. Yeah. So you got to be unbelievably disciplined and know you're going to get cut all the time. So it's really hard to defend and probably equally as hard. The one rule that changed in college athletics, college football a couple years ago is the cut block. You can't cut people down on the perimeter anymore like you used to 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and that's where some of those wishbone teams are probably having a harder time.
Even the wide receivers used to cut people hard, which they can't do anymore. But they would even wide out run, it's just a tendon tear.
Exactly.
You hit it wrong barely one time.
Yeah.
Those cut blocks. That's kind of how Aaron Rodgers ended up tearing his Achilles too.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's so hard right now with, college athletics or college football has changed. We've gotten better on the targeting, right? I mean, we've used to get targeting and then the kid would have the walk of shame because they'd throw him out and you'd have to walk him off, send a support staff member. Now they at least can stay on the sideline. But, we've taken some of that, but now we're having more lower body injuries because I can't go high on you across the middle, so I go low on you, and you see some ugly injuries because of it. And there's that happy medium of hit him between the knees and the chest, and there's not going to be any penalty. But everybody talks about that, but that's a split-second decision whether or not that guy's coming at me. And if it's a kid that's 6'5", 250 pounds, do you really want to go high on that guy?
No, the answer is no, in case you're wondering.
I know. I wouldn't think you would.
No. Our final 5 questions. I'm going to start with this one. The rule of a wide-open, fast offense. You know how to stop them? Act hurt. Just grab your hamstring, get a cramp. Something's got to change as far as if you get hurt, you grab something, you cramp, like that's the rest of the series, you're out. What would you suggest to the rules committee?
It's gotten better already. It's gotten a ton better, but probably just the rest of the series. If a guy comes out, if it's usually when it's 104 degrees and you're out there for that 10th play that you could potentially have it happen, but then they probably should just be the series. You don't know if it's one more play or 8 more plays.
I mean, when they're lying. When they're lying.
Oh, absolutely.
I
think everybody does. It's bad when there's 2 guys down on the same play.
They forget who told who.
Wait.
I said I would do it, man. No, God.
Coach, I remember watching Friday Night Lights or something, and there was the part where somebody gets hurt, and the coach is like, get in the room, shoot it up, you're coming back out. It's like almost like no choice. When someone does get hurt, do you say like, are you hurt? Or like, what do you tell me?
Oh, you hurt or you're injured?
You're injured. Yeah. I mean, this is when we work out. That's what he tells me. Are you that kind of like, are you hurt or you're injured? Or are you just like, you decide on your own?
No, it's a different world now. I just go to the trainers and they say, he's out. We're checking on him. We're getting something. We're retaping him. We're going in for an X-ray. We'll come back, let you know. And now I just let them tell me, is he going to be back or not? Yep, he'll be back, Coach. You got 3 more plays and get him ready. Or nope, sorry, Coach, he's out. Oh, come on, he's not. No, you just listen to what the trainers tell you and move on. So that's become, which it should be. We should be out of the conversation on that, whether or not a kid's healthy or not to play.
Do you still take their helmet? So they can't go back in the game?
Yeah.
You ever had anyone hurt, grab their helmet and go back in the game and sneak on?
No.
I would.
No, I mean, they hide it. They'd have to grab somebody else's helmet.
I'd grab a whole new uniform. I'd go in, put a whole new uniform on, come out with a different number.
Get a different number for sure. You're into changing your number.
Yeah, man, I'd come out with number 77.
He's big on that.
They're like, who is this Robbie Jones guy? Man, he good.
I don't know, but if I saw you in 77 playing O-line, I'd feel pretty good about our chances.
And you should, Coach, and you should. What's the ceiling here?
Oh, boy. Compete for championships. We feel like if we continue to recruit the way we have been and continue to get the right guys and continue to have the guys buy in and develop, is compete for championships. nobody knows. I mean, the landscape of college football keeps changing with conference realignment and people joining. And now, beginning next year, there's going to be 12 teams in the playoff. And so if you get into that tournament, because I used to be a part of tournament play in the FCS, if you get in that tournament, anything can happen.
That's so exciting to me. And the argument often was, well, you want to keep the value of each game in college football, but we also love the NFL, and there's value to each game, but also the playoffs are freaking awesome.
Yeah, and there has to be more value to every game, but if a team slips up or slips up twice, they ought to still have an opportunity, and that's unfortunate right now because if a blue blood loses a game, they're wanting to jump off that team, and that team's done. It takes a while for teams to peak, especially right now because of the transfer portal, players changing teams, people having new rosters every year, essentially, or new players. That sometimes it takes you half a season, and the best teams at the end of the season are what you're trying to get.
Coach, very stressful job you have. How do you get your mind off football? You have a boat? You got jet skis?
I go play golf, which we should have went and played golf.
We should have.
We should have.
Yeah, we
now you tell us that because all you had to do is mention maybe, and we'd have come last night.
We would have brought our gloves.
Yeah.
And since it's an open week, we probably could have figured it out.
Oh my gosh!
But if it weren't an open week, so no, that's what I do. I try to go play golf, get my mind off it, and got a couple great golf courses around here that we go out and play. If not, sit in the back, cook out, jump in the pool. Just try to get away from it as best you can.
Do you ever throw your clubs on the team plane and try to get there a day early and squeeze a round in?
No, I don't think that would probably work. They probably wonder, oh, sure, you're a player's coach. Now you're just going out. Can we go too? There'll be a lot of players that want to go with me.
Last question. You talk about the importance of having a quarterback in every class, at least attempting to do that. So let's say that you sign a 4 or 5 star quarterback last year, and now you're trying to recruit me. I'm another 4 or 5 star guy.
Yep.
But I mean, there's this guy 1 year ahead of me. How in the world do you get me to come here when you got a guy in front of me?
A lot of those 4 and 5 stars think they're going to beat everybody out. So that's one positive thing is no, I can beat that guy out. The second thing is they know, they see how the evolution of football is. Somebody may leave. Also, people get hurt. Every year that I've been here, other than our quarterback has missed a little bit of time. So there's always that opportunity. And, if you're still selling the fact that we had, at North Dakota State, we had Brock Jensen, who was the all-time winningest quarterback in FCS at one time, and we brought Carson Wentz in. Carson sat for a couple of years, and then Carson won a couple championships, and then we had Easton Stick come in, and Easton Stick ended up being the all-time winningest quarterback in FCS football, and behind him was Trey Lance, who we brought in. So we brought in the next guy every time that they knew that their opportunity would come, and when they had that opportunity with the type of offense we run, and same thing here with the type of offense that we run, when I get my shot and I make the most of it, it's going to give me that opportunity to play at the next level.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming to Manhattan, Kansas.
This feels like where I come from. I think that's why I root for Kansas State, and like my parallel universe of Kansas State, because I'm from Arkansas. It's what we had. It's all we had was University of Arkansas, and like we hated Texas. I mentioned that earlier. I still hate Texas.
Yeah, we heard that.
And it's like now I hate Kansas too. I'm gonna be honest with you, Coach. And so it makes me love you even more.
You got to come back for a game.
Yeah, I hear you. We beat the crap out of Kansas basketball last year, but like their fans are just like nasty. You don't have to say anything. I'll say it.
We're just talking again.
Yeah, no, it's us. It's just me talking over here. But it's like my love. I enjoy what you're doing with the program, and then I understand how the fans of this program feel. But then it's the parallels of I just can't take Kansas, man. That's it, Coach.
Okay, well, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Here we go.
And love to have you come back for a game, man. We'll get you a spot.
All right,
Thank you, Coach. Happy birthday, too. Go to Chili's on us, all right? We got your dinner tonight.
Invoice us, the Chili's.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Pay for it, but invoice us. It may take a little while for our department to get the counting.
Reimburse you.
But something will happen, surely. Okay, thanks.
You don't want to just leave me a credit card?
No, we're good. Let's run some of these games, and then we're going to get Lunchbox in here to talk about Kansas basketball.
Oh, cool.
But first, NFL weekend lines. Cowboys -2 at the Chargers, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to cover. They're going to win that game, of course.
Kevin?
Chargers.
What?
It's just to piss you off.
Yep.
No, but-
Because he hates it that you enjoy his team losing.
Yep.
I'm going to give you the speech I gave my kids. It's the NFL. You have no idea what you're talking about. We always.
Then why not give
what?
that speech to yourself?
Yeah,
What
exactly.
do you mean?
If you're going to tell somebody else they have no idea what they're talking about, you should say it to yourself.
Well, no, it's just my kids always base it on their last week performance. It's like, look, that's the way. Look, they look terrible last week. This week they're going to come back and look like, oh my gosh, they're great again. And then we're going to be like, well, where are the Cowboys? I don't know who they are. Are they the Cowboys that played the 49ers, or are they the Cowboys that played the Chargers? Who knows? They're going to kill the Chargers. They're going to be back to where they were.
But you just said nobody knows anything, including yourself.
Well, yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying is just go the opposite of what you think.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys cover. Seahawks and Bengals.
After all that,
Bengals -3. Is Joe Burrow healthy?
nah.
My sources say no.
Who's your source?
I can't tell you.
You have a source for
I
real?
do. Yeah,
It's not your wife?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
But my source says he's not fully healthy yet, even though they took him off the injury report. But I'm taking Seattle, mostly because I bought them in that league. I need them to win. I can't speak anything bad to their existence. Ravens -3 at the Titans. They both went to London at different times, which is interesting. The Ravens went for a whole week, and I think the Titans just land and get off the plane and go play.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all right, we're here, guys. Get your pads. Let's go. We got
No sightseeing,
Be on 30
nothing.
minutes.
That
no
sounds
Big
like Vrabel for
Ben.
sure.
No, yeah. They'll wait until the last minute. Ravens -3.5 in London. Go, Eddie.
I'm going to go Titans. The
Ravens.
Ravens have been looking weird lately.
I'm
Yeah,
going
they're dropping balls like crazy.
Yep, not finishing
Yeah.
games, doing weird stuff.
Crazy.
Ravens.
I'm going to go Titans. I own them. I'm biased.
Oh, you own them?
Yeah, I have 6
Partial
teams
ownership?
in my league.
Oh,
That I
that
bought the
league.
GM
I thought
for,
you
yeah.
really owned the team.
Commanders and Falcons. Falcons -2.5.
Falcons. Bijan's awesome. Let's go.
Commanders.
I go Commanders too. Commanders are
Yeah.
kind of salty. And I think too, we're going to start seeing teams eat themselves on purpose, but not on purpose. Like Minnesota. There's no way Justin Jefferson comes back if they're trying to get that number 1 pick, and they're going to trade Kirk Cousins. Like if they're going to commit. Because Kirk Cousins, it doesn't. Most of his money this last year, he's got like $10 million. So you pay him, but most of that money on his contract is already bonus money that he's got. So he's been paid. So it's a rental. It's a pretty cheap rental. If you get Kirk Cousins, I would trade him. I would not bring Justin Jefferson back. I'd lose every freaking game. Get it on like Caleb Williams.
Patriots got that. Don't worry.
Well, they don't have to change anything. They just keep going as is. They don't have to
They
sit
play hard and
anyone.
they'll lose.
Has Mac Brown been throwing with the right arm? Or sorry, Mac Jones been throwing with the right arm? Yeah.
Who knows?
Jeez. Niners and Browns. Niners -4.5, -4.5.
Niners.
The easy pick is San Francisco, but they had a big win.
And they're saying that Deshaun may not even play. So
He didn't play last week.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's go Niners again.
That's why those games, I would stay away from this one.
Really? Oh, because
It
of
seems
what I told
so
my kids.
easy.
Yeah. You never know, guys.
No, not because of what you told your
What
kids.
do you mean? You never know. You never know.
It seems so. These games, it seem like they're just guaranteed slam dunks. Usually in the
That's when
NFL
it's
aren't.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about that too. Like last week when the Cowboys played the Niners, everyone picked the Niners. You know, like all the pregame commentators, whatever. Niners. And then Maria Taylor goes, well, I got to go with the Cowboys because every time we pick one team, they always end up being the one that loses. That's not the case. Like that wasn't the case on Sunday. Niners are going to win this one for sure.
But will they cover?
Yes. They'll kill. I think they beat them by 14.
Is that
maybe
your,
more?
Is that your guarantee?
Yes.
You're going to put it in your broken promise?
Yes. It is.
All right, commit Eddie to the broken promises jar. He's got the Niners -4.5.
That is my pick.
Kevin, who's your promise?
That's what I was gonna go with.
Really?
Yeah.
Go with it. You can go with the same
Do
one.
it. Let's double up on it.
Okay. Not the pause here. The only thing is, it's up to 7 now. I think.
Yeah, 7. That's what we have.
It's now up to 7. San
Yeah, because
Francisco?
Deshaun is iffy,
Oh, really?
50-50.
When I printed my sheet out as a 4.5.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I don't.
Oh, Eddie.
I did just say 7 though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I said 7.
Okay, cool.
So let's
You
go.
still want
7.
him at 7?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go
I
with
want
you
them at
too.
7.
Okay. Well, then I'm just going to throw my sheet away and move on because I printed this off like 2 hours ago.
It's so outdated.
Yeah. And that's yours, Kevin?
Yeah.
Reed, do you have a promise this week?
Yeah, I'm going to go Commanders after what y'all just said because I was going to go 49ers, but now I'm going to go Commanders.
Bro, triple up. Yeah, let's go.
Triple up.
Kevin, you don't feel good about Patriots?
No.
Reed, why are you asking
okay.
questions?
Have you watched them? Wait, who you have? Washington?
Reed's walking in the
Yeah.
pool timid.
Washington what?
Sometimes if it's cold, you don't want to get your thing wet because it's like, ugh, you wade in slow. Just jump in.
Yeah.
Don't be timid.
Yeah, I'll go Commanders +2.5.
Okay.
I like that bet, though. And finally, mine is, I already bet mine, so let me pull it up. And then we'll get Lunchbox here. Mine is Duke. What's it at now? I bet it at Duke.
What does your paper say?
Duke -2 is what I bet it at, but I want to grab. If it's better, I want to take that now. You looking at it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go Duke over North Carolina State.
3 now.
I'll take the 2.5 one I have on my thing here.
That's good.
I'm going to take the best option of this. All right, so I have Duke -2.5.
Okay.
All right, very good. So Reed, you got yours.
Yep,
How much
got it.
money's in the pot?
We still have only our money.
You guys still haven't paid
These
your
two
money?
haven't paid
I need to
anything.
get cash.
Yeah.
Can I put IOUs in
You know
there?
what? Every show that you don't pay from now on,
Oh, yeah.
it'll be
shoot.
$5 interest.
Okay, I got it.
So you have until the next show, but it'll be
I'll
$5
go,
interest.
I'll go to the gas station right now.
Yep.
You leave during the show.
I'll be back.
All right, we're gonna bring Lunchbox in and talk about Kansas for a second. He's wearing his Kansas hoodie. Kansas, one of these. We were talking about the Entitled Bowl.
Yeah, definitely entitled.
Kansas basketball for sure. It's not a
Entitled.
shot towards you. I want to be entitled. I want to be Alabama. I want to be USC. I want to be teams that want to fire their coach if they don't have a Final Four season. I want to be teams that seem like jerks because they win all the time and it gets annoying. But we're not. Kansas is that team.
Do they really feel like jerks? I mean, they
Yes.
feel.
Yeah, when we
Yes.
beat you guys in NCAA tournament in Iowa last year, the Kansas crew was not nice. They're mean.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were sad and depressed, but I mean, I don't know if we're entitled. I feel like
You're entitled to win basketball games. You feel like Kansas plays, they should win. You feel like Kansas should win the Big 12, right?
Yeah.
Like easy. If you show up and you do what you normally do, you should win or something's wrong.
I mean, I would say that we have the best coach in the Big 12, and it's impressive what he's done. Even when we have teams that aren't very good, he finds a way to win the Big 12, which is incredible.
So do you expect to win the Big 12?
Yes.
Every year?
Yes. There's some years that I'm like, there's no way. They're not good enough, and then they do it, and I'm like, holy crap.
And do you feel like people should just respect you regardless because you're Kansas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
you're entitled. Yeah,
entitlement.
you're
You're entitled, yeah.
But it's okay. I want to be entitled as a sports program. That's why I hate Texas because they win. It sucks.
Texas wins what?
Generally at sports, they're usually number one in the all sports is together. Them
Well, because
Stanford or
diving and swimming,
Well,
no one cares.
regardless, Texas baseball championships.
Yeah,
They have good
there's
basketball
baseball.
teams
They're just always relevant.
always. And even if they're not, they still are because people are angry at them for not being relevant. So Texas, I hate Texas because of that. Always have hated Texas. Tennessee, that's been a big part. Alabama, Georgia. I hate everybody that wins. So Kansas, one of those schools that we hate. Why did your coach get off scot-free?
Because the NCAA realized they have no power. They have no power. They started paying players anyway, and they realized this is so stupid. We wasted so much money and resources on this crap, and we don't really want to waste our time with it.
Will you
And
catch Eddie up on what happened?
Thank you.
So
Did
there
I
was
have a confused look on my face?
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's my fault. I should have
Thank
set
you.
it up.
I did see the headline where like there's no charges or whatever, or like the penalty's not that bad.
Sure.
They got 5-1 level 1 violations that were supposed to like ban us from the postseason. Bill Self was going to be in deep trouble. They were going to put on probation
Castration.
for
Wow.
illegal benefits.
The whole
towards-
team.
Cut them off?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, because
Bands too?
allegedly
Bands and the band.
they were funneling payments through Adidas. We were paying players, and what Kansas said was we had no idea this was going on. This was a rogue Adidas employee that was paying the players. We didn't have anything to do with it. So it was a 5-year back and forth of like, oh, let me see your text messages. And what did we find out? That Kansas didn't know anything.
So they did get paid.
They did. What do we think we know? That the NCAA just doesn't have the power, and now they just got lucky. Kansas got lucky with the timing of getting in trouble.
Right, and same with Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was the only one that was that really got banned on the postseason. That was the only one. And here's the thing.
And that was also Adidas?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the same guy, same little.
Wow.
And listen, do you think deep down that Kansas was paying the players?
Yeah.
100%. Yes, absolutely. But guess
They're entitled.
what? Everybody pays the players.
Not us, because we suck.
Oh man, everybody pays players. Duke
us.
plays players. North Carolina made up fake classes. There was not even real classes, and we're just putting them on their report cards.
I like that.
And they got in no trouble.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's like they did it for years. It's like, oh, but now we have to take down the Final Four banner. Really?
Oh, that's one of the penalties?
No, and that would never even bother me. Like,
Okay,
you'll
take it
vacate your
down.
trophy. No, I still got to experience that. You can't do Men in Black to me. If you could, that would suck, and I would be like, you can have it back. I want to keep it, but if you can't go Men in Black, I still enjoy it. I don't have a banner in my house anyway.
Yeah, well, the Kansas vacated some wins, so now they're not the winningest basketball program in history.
Oh, that's in the books?
Yeah, they didn't go to the Final Four in 2018.
I don't read the books.
In 2018, there was only 3 teams in the Final Four now, and Bill Self only has 4 Final Four appearances instead of 5.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I would just say 5. What are they going to do?
Yeah, what can they say?
right.
He did go to 5.
Yeah, but in like 30 years, when you look back, you're like, oh, that's not there. It says 4.
Except for the asterisk, and you're like, let me read the asterisk. Oh, I guess he was 5.
Yeah, so that sucks, but whatever. As long as and then they said our reaching the postseason, the NCAA tournament, we had an NCAA record, but that is now snapped because we didn't make it in 2018.
Wow.
Finger parentheses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got lucky that players are being paid now because of that. They're going, who cares now? It's for the same reason Reggie Bush should be given his Heisman back.
100%. Give it to them. It's so stupid they took it away in the first place. All these people, I mean, Zion Williamson got paid by Duke.
Oh, yeah.
And we act like, oh, no, because Coach K, but who cares? Everybody was playing everybody. There was a dude that I went to high school with. He played golf at the University of Texas, and he comes out one day, and guess what? Brand new set of golf clubs sitting in the back of his car.
Who's that?
Not going to say his name.
You guys listen to Lunchbox and Raymundo, Sore Losers. Show will be up today. It's probably already up by the time you're hearing this. Lunchbox, thanks, man.
Thanks.
All right, that's it. Mike, we good?
We're good.
All right, I gotta go to a meeting. Thanks to Coach. Thanks to Cooper Beebe for coming on, All-American, and got the strength of the All-American.
Oh, man. Big dude. With little arms, he says. Okay.
He's like, my arms are so little. There's nothing little. And I looked everywhere.
What do you mean? Oh, you saw?
There's nothing little about that guy. He's a monster in every way. Thank you, guys. Please follow us at 25 Whistles. Check out the newest episode of Too Much Access with Kansas State. And we'll have another one coming out on Monday, which I don't know which one it's going to be yet.
You haven't decided? We're waiting on wins?
We're waiting on we're just waiting.
Hey, I think I'm going to go back to Western Kentucky for a game next month.
I thought you were going to Cincinnati for a game.
I'm doing both. Sam Houston State's playing Western Kentucky, so I think I'm going to make the drive and go check out that game.
That's really cool.
Excited about that.
Oh, I got to update that. I can't wait to give you guys. I told Eddie on the phone, but I can't.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Just until.
What?
It's a good one.
Okay.
I mean, could you tease it in a way? Because
I committed to Arkansas. I'm playing next year.
That's definitely not
All right,
it.
I got to go. At 25 Whistles. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Whistle.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on.